Oh my goodness. It's been such a long time and I missed you so very much. Hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've been in the elephant room, but welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Hey, I need everybody to get comfortable. Get your blankets, get your cocktails, get your beverages, get your water, get your juice, get your Kool-Aid, whatever it is you need to feel comfortable. Make sure everybody else around you is feeling comfortable. If you are on YouTube, hit that like button and subscribe immediately so you don't ever have to miss another episode of the Elephant Room again. Hey, I just felt like it's been too crowded. I felt like it's just been too crowded. I mean, podcasting has definitely been something that has been a safe haven for me for quite some time over the years. And looking at the landscape, looking at the industry, looking at just everybody jumping on board, I'm like, it kind of gave me social anxiety vibes, you know? Social anxiety vibes for real. It really did. Like, I felt like I was in a room full of strangers, and it was my room. It was my room. Individuals walked in my room, and I just felt like I couldn't explain or I couldn't express myself anymore, You know? Like, I felt like everybody else was saying what I wanted to say or feeling the way I wanted to feel or expressing the way I wanted to express, and I just didn't have any value anymore. I mean, that's just how I felt. So I took quite some time. I took quite some time to reevaluate life, reevaluate the elephant room, reevaluate the podcast in general, and we back. We back. What can I say? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, subscribe to the podcast however you get it. If you're on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button, hit that bell. Make sure you get the notifications when we are dropping episodes of the Elephant Room. I feel like I'm refreshed, but also I feel like a person that's brand new to this space. Maybe it's because of the YouTube twist, maybe it's because of that, but I feel like I'm just a newbie. I feel like I'm a newbie. I feel like I just don't know how to maneuver. I don't know how to address my people anymore. And maybe that's just something I have to work through, and we'll get better. We'll stumble up on something pretty soon here. More so, like I said, it just felt overcrowded. I just felt like, and I don't usually have these situations or obstacles in a social setting. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty confident. If I will tell you, I'm pretty confident. I mean, I love the way I look. I love the way I smell. I love the way I present myself. But in some spaces, mostly in the social media arena, in some spaces I just feel inadequate. And I don't know if anybody else feels like that. It's just very, very awkward for a confident individual like myself that is sure of himself, that is I definitely understand what I bring to the table and the experience that I give individuals when they meet me, to feel so inadequate in a space that really doesn't exist. You know what I mean? It really doesn't exist. It really doesn't. People say like social media isn't real. But I feel the effects of it. You know what I mean? I feel the effects of my absence from the elephant room. I feel the effect of who I am in a non-existing space. Like, how can something that's not real affect me in a very real way? I mean, I just felt like every picture that I took, it's been taken. Every caption that I thought of, it's been said. Every tweet that I might have come across to put out there in this social media space, it's been said already, but yet it still goes on. You know what I mean? Have you ever felt like that? Have you ever felt a love of yours live on, go on? Have you ever felt like something that you cared for so much, something that brought you so much peace and so much life, fresh air, just continue to live on and give others what they gave you? That's the heart-wrenching and the heartbreaking point, is when you realize what this thing, what this person, or what this event gave me, it's going to give to other people. Other people are going to benefit from this. Other people are going to feel exactly the way I feel. And maybe that's selfish. Maybe that's selfish in me. Should I not feel like that? Should I not have a jealous bone? And maybe it's jealousy. I was about to assume, but maybe it's jealousy, is it not? Like this podcast thing, this love of my life, this thing that found me in a space of uncertainty. Podcasting found me when I was trying to get on the radio in my local area. Like, I tried to get on the radio. I tried to reach out to local radio stations because so many people were telling me like, "Oh, you have a radio voice." I said, "All right, cool. Like, all right, let's try to figure this out." Nobody, no callbacks, no nothing, just silence. Okay, right, all right. And then somebody was like, "Yo, you should podcast." I'm like, "Podcast? What is that? What's a podcast?" It's mainly is a radio station or a radio show on the internet. All right, cool. Let's figure it out. And I started doing this, fell in love with it, gave it my all, gave it everything I had, money in my pockets, time and energy. I mean, I would go to sleep thinking about it, wake up thinking about it. I would go to sleep thinking about it, and dream about it while I was sleeping, then wake up and think about it. I gave so much to it. And it's given me so much in return. It has. So many amazing interactions, so many beautiful conversations. But it just seemed like when people start getting hip to something that you felt like it was yours, or you felt like you only knew about it, and then they, the general public started to get hip to it, it loses its feeling. It loses its feeling. And also, not only does it lose its feeling, it just feels like other people do it better than you. Yeah? You ever had a friend, you like, "Yo, this is my guy, this is my girl." Like, it's not even nothing romantic, it's just a connection. You're like, "Yo, these are my people." And then they have other friends and you see their interactions and you're like, "Man, they might be a better friend to me." Or their interactions with this friend or my friend is vastly different than mine. Like, am I doing this right? Am I doing this right? I feel like that in this space, man. Am I doing this right? This is what it's supposed to be? Even though when you met it, even though when it came into your life, it was whatever you wanted it to be. Sometimes we lose sight of that. Sometimes that's where it gets real awkward. It gets real awkward when we forget what defined us in the first place. It gets real awkward when it's go with the flow when we first come into the game, and then 20 minutes, 2 years, 7 years, 18 months down the road, it's like, I don't know what I'm doing. We lost sight of what we were doing. We lost sight of the motivation. We lost feeling. Anybody felt like that? Like, that's where it gets awkward for me. That's what it's been awkward for me this whole entire year of 2021. I guess I put so much pressure on the elephant room, and try to define what it was supposed to be and what it's supposed to look like. But when it all began, it was just a safe haven. It was just shelter. I think that's where we get frustrated, or that's where I got frustrated, is when a shelter served its purpose and then I tried to create it into a mansion. But yet the shelter had everything I needed. Yet the shelter had everything I looked for or had or wanted. And yet I felt like, oh, let's build more. It should be looking like this. And when it's not, when it continues to serve what it was supposed to serve and not change, it's like, oh. But it's supposed to be looking like this. Well, maybe we need other materials. Maybe there's something else outside of that you need to look for, you need to explore. But here you're putting so much pressure on this one thing that makes you walk away because it's not turning into what you wanted, but it wasn't built for that. That's how it gets real awkward for me. Is I really look back and I think about it like, dang, man, podcasting was a safe haven. Podcasting, I would sometimes just podcast just to get the thoughts that I had off my chest. No rhyme, no reason, no intro, no outro. Just, this is how I feel. This is where I'm at. I wrote a poem. I want y'all to hear it. It may have been 9 minutes long, but I want y'all to hear it. It may not make sense, but it was what was on my mind. It was what was on my heart. And I have a space to release it. Very niche, very, very subtle, very, very intimate space. Here you go. And then you experience, I guess, the potential of something, and you're like, oh, okay, so this has got to be gigantic, it's got to be huge, it's got to be amazing. And it already is those things, but at its simplest form. You know what I mean? Like, you have something lightweight, something hybrid, something very sweet, and then you try to put extensions, or you try to expand it, and it becomes so heavy, it becomes too much. And the most awkward thing about this, it's not even its fault. It's not even their fault. It's not podcast fault that I felt the way I felt, because I put on expectations that I didn't need. I didn't need it. I didn't need those expectations. I didn't need it. I didn't need it. And it's an interesting point coming from that point of view. Life will push you, life will move you along, right? And when life moves you along, you then grow and experience other things, more, or other preferences, other interests. And then you try to come back to something that has been with you for a minute. And you try to introduce those interests, those preferences to that thing, and it may not go well. You know, you're evolving, and there's some things that are just infinite. I love it. Some things are just infinite. Some things are just meant to last in its purest form, in its most simplest form. It doesn't need a whole lot. It doesn't need the extra. It's pure. Have you ever had a conversation with somebody and it was a great interaction, it was a sweet vibe, it was a wonderful thing, right? And then time goes by, maybe, put a number out there, it doesn't matter, 36 months, 5 years, 12 years, and then you come across this individual again. You guys have a similar interaction. sweet, warm, very just a great exchange, a great dialogue. And you're like, as much as I can't stand the phrase picked up like we never left, like, I hate that phrase. I hate it. But it's true. Some interactions, some relationships, some situations, you can just pick up where you left off. Or picked up like you never left. Even though you did. And sometimes you need to. Sometimes you don't have a choice. I can say that in some points in my life, while I was away from podcasting, I had to step away, you know. I had to step away. I don't like forcing anything. I don't like forcing things. I don't like pressure at all. And I just felt like I was really pressuring myself to make magic or make something beautiful, make something amazing. When in actuality, every episode, every minute that we put into the elephant room, every moment that we spend in the elephant room is a part of a body of work. It's a part of an experience. And some are home runs. Some are home runs. Some I could look back and be like, man, that was a beautiful moment. And others, they just get you. You know, they get you along. There's nothing wrong with that. They get you along. They get you from point A to point B. Some are rockets. Others are stepping stones. You feel me? So like I said, it's not podcasting's fault that more and more people are involved with it. More and more people are sharing their experiences and their thoughts. It's not podcasting. It's not that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not podcasting's fault that more people are experiencing the wonderful thing that I fell in love with. It's not mine. Solely not mine. I just had an interaction with it. And I did put pressure on it, and I did put so many expectations that didn't need to be there, and that wasn't there in the beginning. But I'm back. I get it. I get it. I get it. I'm back. And that may not mean anything. That may not mean 2 cents to anybody, but it means the world to me. There's only one me, there's only one you. And we have to get back to working. We got to get back to our creative process. We got to get back to the thing that made us fall in love with outward expression. That's what this whole podcast episode is about. That's what the awkward moment is about, is feeling or looking or dealing with something that you were introduced to years ago or weeks ago, whatever it was. And it was at its purest form, its most simplest form. And then now you've gone through life and it's changed. You've changed. This thing is remained the same. You've changed, but more people are involved into the thing that you fell in love with. But we got to get back to it because there still is a demand. You know, there's still a demand. Don't let anybody take you away from that. Don't let anybody tell you that there's not. There's still a demand. I think I've said this time and time again. For every one bit of good news, there's probably 5 or 10 bits of bad news. We got to remain and continue to be that good news. We got to remain and continue to spread love and genuine care. And I choose my platform to be podcasting. Even though I sit on YouTube, or even though I post and indulge in the platform of YouTube, I choose podcasting, the mic. I need a mic, you know what I mean? That's why I respect stand-up comedians so much. Stand-up comedians choose to be in front of everybody. And that is hard, man. Stand-up comedians choose to be funny in front of a crowd. And others like myself, we're just trying. Some days we're trying to just express how we feel. Some other days it may come off as funny, but we're just trying to get what we got on our chest out. But stand-up comedians, they are funny, you know? That R and B, that R&B is a beast. You are funny, or you can be, or I am. Those defined definitions of a person are a beast. It's another, I got to table that. We'll come back to that. But that's why I respect it so much, because they are who they are in front of a crowd. And others like me, I'm trying. I've been trying to figure it out. I've been trying to piece it together. I've been trying to find my lane. I've been trying to stay confident in a non-existing space. I've been trying to stay relevant for myself, not for other people. My aim isn't to be relevant for other people. My aim is to be relevant for me. And what do you mean by relevant? I mean, every day I wake up understanding that there's a task at hand. We can wake up so many days and just go through the motions. We can wake up so many days and feel like, oh, I go to work, I come home, I watch the game, I watch my TV, I go to sleep. What's the task at hand though? What experiences are you trying to give to the world? What new, fresh ideas are you trying to introduce or express? What have you thought? When's the last time you thought of something that you've never had a conversation about? So many talks about Mars and the moon or whatever. When's the last time you were like, yo, look, how long would it take to get to Pluto? Nobody's thinking about that, right? Nobody is talking about that. Nobody has said that to you, but that is a brand new idea that you came up with. That in retrospect, you have no business thinking about, right? Because you're not even in that space. You're not a rocket scientist. You're not Tesla or SpaceX. You're none of that, right? But it's a brand new idea that nobody's talking about, but you brought it up. What new ideas are you bringing into the world? What problems are you solving? What smiles are you putting on people's faces? And you're like, you may say like, yo, that's awkward because that's a lot of pressure to even try to think about that. Okay, what new smiles are you trying to put on your face? What new conversations or warm experiences are you trying to have with individuals around you? Or what new experiences or conversations are you trying to have with individuals that may be new in your life? A lot of individuals, I won't say suffer, but a lot of us have awkward moments or we have an awkward time keeping relationships. We have an awkward time keeping or understanding people. Maybe we're selfish. Maybe we are just naive and don't catch a hint. Maybe we don't understand boundaries. I don't know. There's so many things. That's why it's awkward. And that's why we have to think about it. We have to get back to that space. Get back to giving. Give back to that thing that gave you so much. Like I said, I started this and it's crowded and I feel uncomfortable and I don't know how to move and I just feel illegitimate in a non-existing space, social media, podcasting. All that doesn't matter. Give back. Pursue. Find new areas, find new things about the love of your life, the person, the thing, whatever it is. Like I said, it may not be podcasting like it is for me. It may be Instagram. It may be a new business. It may be your children. It may be your spouse. It may be your lover, your partner. It may be yourself. It may be your hair. It may be your mental health. It may be your physical physique. I mean, whatever it is, give back, explore, express whatever it is on your mind. Express it. Express it to yourself. Express it so that you can hear it. Express it so that you can feel it. This may not see the light of day on anybody's platform, but because I expressed it for me, I feel 1,000 times better. As awkward as I feel right now, as comfortable as I feel in my blanket and my hat in front of my mic, it may not see the light of day on anybody's platform, but because I took the time to do what I feel like I've been made to do, I can't even express the feeling. It feels good. It feels good. And it's so interesting because I ran for this feeling for so long. I ran from this position for so long. And when I say ran, I mean, I just felt like there wasn't anything left. I felt like if I sat back in this seat, if I got back in this position again, I wouldn't feel this. I wouldn't feel this. And I was wrong. I was wrong. And I'm glad I was wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't even want to challenge you. There's too many challenges going on. I want to ask you, please, I want to beg you. How about that? How about that? I read a tweet that said, let's go back to R&B singers begging. That's something that people don't do anymore, and that's fine. Hey, whatever. But I'm going to ask and beg you. Pursue the thing that gave you that good feeling. Pursue that thing. Give back to that thing that gave you so much. And you may even feel like, man, that time is over. That phase is over. You never know. Give back to it. Express. Live it up to its fullest. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Philip Townley Jr. and I'm so glad, so happy to be the host in the Elephant Room. So glad to be happy. So glad to be happy. Yeah, that's true. I'm so glad to be happy. I'm so glad to be part of this space with you. If you're watching on YouTube, welcome. Hit that bell, subscribe, get those notifications when we go and put more episodes out there in the world. Let me know what you pursued over the next whatever time. Let me know what you pursued in the comments. If you're listening on any other platform, iTunes, Google Music, Amazon Music, whatever platform it is, subscribe to the podcast however you get it. Hit us up, LANTHROPY at iCloud.com. Let us know your comments. Let us know how you feel. I want to see y'all soon, man. I want to see you soon. Until next time, peace and love. We out.